guys, hope you're all well. Laura here with Novice Garden. I'm back upstairs in my makeshift plant room getting ready to plant some bulb lasagnas. I was in a cupboard yesterday and I came across these. How gorgeous are these? I'll try not get too much glare from my lighting. This really nice pack of bulbs I remember picking up actually with my stepdaughter in our favourite garden centre, and this is the pack that she chose. So I have to get them in pots. We are a bit late, it's mid-January. You know, we're running the risk that we might get either really late or short blooms or no blooms at all. But I have to give it a go. So let's get started. Let me just show you what we're working with today. Here are my bulbs. This is a set from Taylor's and it's a mixture of 30 bulbs. We've got some Tulip Passionale. They are beautiful, like such a really kind of deep magenta colour. We have Narcissus Cheerfulness. And I really love that they're slightly more pastel yellow, a lot more of a buttery yellow. And then we have one of my favourite spring bulbs of all time, the little lavender Muscari. I just love them so much, they're so cute. These are March to May blooming, so you know, all around the same time, and we might be a little bit later because I'm putting them in mid-January. We might be a little bit later with them, but anyway, as I said, we just need to get them in and get started. Next we've got my terracotta pot. This is just one of them. I have another exactly the same which I'm also going to pot up. My compost scoop, my compost tray, and some potting mix. So before I get started, let's chat real quick about what a bulb lasagna is. So I've got my pot here, and you can see in this pot I've chosen a really deep one. What that's going to enable me to do is plant layers of bulbs. And a bulb lasagna is there for the purpose of extending your flowering time from your pot, or your bloom time. What we're going to do is plant the largest and latest flowering bulbs at the bottom. Then we're going to follow that with the second latest flowering bulbs. And then on top we're going to put the smallest and the earliest flowering bulbs. And you can also do this with stem length. So longest stem towards the bottom and then shortest stem towards the top. And what that's going to do is all of these blooms are going to come up either at slightly different times, or in my case the same time, and create this beautiful display and just give us a gorgeous look. I'm going to be putting it outside next to where we sit in the morning and have coffee, and it just looks fab. So let's get to it. So I got all the bulbs popped out of their packet, and this is the bulbs that I'm happy to use. These ones are still viable. They feel like they have a nice amount of moisture left in them. Some of them have started to shoot already. In comparison to, if I just show you a couple of the ones in here that I've decided not to use, these are bulbs that have gone bad. They are dusty, they're really quite kind of almost slightly mouldy looking, really dry, and actually they don't really smell too good either. So I'm not happy to use these ones. I think it would be a waste of time to try and pot up with those. And if we use one of these bulbs just in comparison, so you can see the difference, this one here, it started shooting, it's still relatively firm, has a little bit of give to it, and that way you can tell that there's still a little bit of moisture in there. So what I'm going to do, instead of using 2 pots, is I'm just going to use 1, because I feel like it will look better to pack this one out rather than trying to space out this slightly smaller amount of bulbs between 2 pots. Alright guys, let's get planting. So I'm going to start off with my latest and longest stemmed bulb, our tulips. Now inside our terracotta pot you can see that I have just added a crock from outside in the garden. I'm just going to partially cover this hole that is in the bottom, otherwise we would lose compost through there, so the water can still drain through. So I'm going to go ahead, start off with a nice layer of our Westland bulb potting mix in the bottom, and then we'll start with our first layer of bulbs. Add a little bit of a note here to say that you do want to study your packet beforehand and read the depths at which your bulbs all want to be planted at, okay? And I've seen that our tulips and daffodils, or narcissus, they both want to be planted at a depth of 10 centimetres. So I can actually go ahead and plant them all in the same layer. Then our Muscari, our tiny little bulbs, they only want to be planted at a depth of 5 centimetres. So I'm going to bear that in mind when I'm planting my pot. Okay, so here we have our first layer. Now I would say that is around 10 centimetres deep. So I'm going to go in now and go ahead and plant my tulips and my daffodils. I'm just going to plant these like so. I'm then going to go in between with my daffodils, same kind of idea, pointy end facing up the way, and flatter end facing down. So I'm just going to slightly jig these around a little bit there, just so that there's a little bit more of an even space between the bulbs. Okay, fabulous. I'm really happy with that. I'm going to go ahead now, cover with some more compost, and then we'll put our Muscari above them. So now we have the perfect 5 centimetres left between the base of compost that I've just put in and the top of the pot. So I'm going to go in now and plant our tiny little Muscari bulbs. They're so small. I'm just going to evenly space them around on the top of this pot. Again, planting with the slightly flatter side down and the pointy side up. I must apologise for not wearing gloves. My boyfriend and I were actually just laughing because he bought me lots and lots of gardening gifts this year for Christmas. He knows me so well. And I opened my brand new gardening gloves that he got me, and they are actually both left hand. So that's not great. I need to invest in some new gardening gloves. If any of you guys have tips, gardening gloves that you love, please comment below and I'll have a wee look. I always like to read everything that you guys say on Instagram and YouTube. So that is my Muscari all planted up. I'm going to go back over this now with another nice layer of compost, and that is going to be us until I take this outside, which I'm not looking forward to because it's super heavy. So I'm now just firming it down with the backs of my hands, and that's just going to make sure that there's no air pockets and ensure that the bulbs have 100% contact with the soil that's around them. Okay, so there we have it. Our bulb lasagna is potted up. I started off at the bottom with a layer of compost mix. This is the Westland bulb potting mix. It's got lots of feed in it. It's just going to help to support healthy bulb growth. Then I added my first layer, which was the mixture of bulbs that were going to flower at the same time and also had the same length of stem, which were my Tulip Passionale and my Narcissus Cheerfulness. Then I added another layer of compost, came up about 5 centimetres and added my grape hyacinth or Muscari in a final layer on the top, and then I've top dressed with some compost. So all that's left now is to take this outside. I might enlist the help of my boyfriend for that because it's super heavy, and I'm going to top dress with some pea gravel. That is me all done, you guys. Things to remember about bulb lasagnas if you want to give it a go, which you really should because they turn out so beautiful. Always check your planting depths. That's my #1 tip. You have to know how deep to plant each bulb and which layer to put it in. Second of all, what I would say is you need drainage in those pots, otherwise your bulbs might rot. And then after that, there's not much else to it. Just give it a go and look forward to beautiful blooms in the spring. I'm gonna go ahead, get this outside and top dress it, and then I'll show you guys the finished result. Also, before I go, just to say, be sure to follow me at the Novice Garden on Instagram. I'll be posting updates there hopefully when we get blooms. If not, I'll still post an update. If you can, give me a like and a subscribe, I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching them too. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.